If someone were to drop a question on you like, hey, I'm just going to hit you with the name Tom Clancy, what are the first words that pop into your head? You would almost immediately begin spouting out things like tactical, gritty, military, espionage, spies, and counterterrorism. Clancy's novels were perennial powerhouses of suspense and action that became the industry standard for techno-thriller, military history spy fiction, with notable heavyweights such as Red Storm Rising, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, The Sum of All Fears, and The Hunt for Red October. To say that the name Tom Clancy carries weight in this genre of media, including all of the games that have sprouted from his writings, would be a tremendous disservice to his genius. And so, it was with great anticipation that Clancy fans around the world tuned in 6 days ago and watched the latest gaming creation to bear his name, Tom Clancy's XDefiant. Wait, what in the hell does this have to do with Tom Clancy? Did we use the wrong clips for this segment? What's going on, everybody? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and it looks like Ubisoft is back at it again with another very curious and quite controversial decision to slap the Tom Clancy moniker onto a game that bears absolutely no resemblance to anything from the gritty, grounded in realism author. And this list of interesting decisions is steadily growing as Ubisoft's experiments of Hyperscape and Tom Clancy's Elite Squad have either fizzled out or, in the case of the latter, have been scheduled for cancellation. Assassin's Creed has been announced as being shifted over to a live service model with AC Infinity, causing many Assassin's Creed faithful to just throw their arms up in disgust. Splinter Cell fans are literally frothing at the mouth for new content, a new game, anything, and are constantly met with silence. And then there is The Division, a franchise not devoid of its own set of controversies. First, there was the unceremonious and extremely underwhelming end to the Division 2's manhunt targets, culminating in a final battle with Division agent Fei Lao that just left agents scratching their heads and wondering if that was truly the end of the storyline. Along the way, there was a message from the studio applauding its reach with 40 million players, rumors of the franchise being at its end, and an investor call confirming more content coming for The Division 2 in a way that can only be described as hurried and very anticlimactic. And then it all culminated in an odd message from the Division dev team confirming that Title Update 12 was supposed to be the end of this franchise. More recently, separate Ubi studios have unveiled free-to-play titles, both set in the Clancy universe, with The Division's Heartland set to slot in as a rethink for the original Division game's much-revered survival game mode. And now, the most recent unveil has been by Ubisoft San Francisco with their FPS shooter, XDefiant, a game self-described as
"It's fast-paced firefights meets punk rock mosh pit."
Right after watching the official trailer for XDefiant, my very first impulse was to create a video absolutely ripping this game to shreds, mostly due to the complete lack of respect Ubisoft seems to have shown to the Clancy label when they just haphazardly slapped it onto this game. But I decided to step back, take a deep breath, let the adrenaline subside, and watch the trailer over and over again, looking for any hint of anything vaguely familiar with our beloved Clancy titles. I kept running through my experiences with Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, The Division, and Rainbow Six, looking for a small sliver of connectivity to what I have seen from XDefiant. Now, almost 6 days have passed since that XDefiant trailer, and I have found nothing to deter me from again resuming my first thought, which was to tear this game to shreds. First off, as I watch over this trailer footage, this game screams Call of Duty, and I'm not going to bash that IP, as it is extremely popular, and I personally thoroughly enjoyed several of its installments, but this game is marketed as Tom Clancy, and not Call of Duty. Also, XDefiant seems to be several generations too late as it focuses on arena shooting action, something COD specialized in years ago, and has since evolved into much larger battlegrounds. With that, gamers who will play this genre of game are expecting this current size and scope of game with lots of players scattered throughout the battle zones, a la COD Warzone. I don't exactly know how that focus group will take to being whisked back to small arena-based games that dominated the market 15 years ago. Then there is this wild, oversaturated color palette that reminds you of something more akin to Borderlands than something you would see in a tactical, gritty Tom Clancy title. And can I just say that the majority of the footage in this trailer is so low res, it looks like something I would have seen on my PS3 from like 10 years ago. Now, my first thought is that they've chosen this wild color scheme with microtransactions in mind. Since the game is free to play, players should expect a heavy and relentless barrage of purchase options thrown at them, and this is an area that Ubisoft has not shown the best in restraint. And since XDefiant is going with this color saturation set to full tilt, expect the cosmetic options to be vast and reflect a wild and individualized selection, something they would probably not be able to pull off if this was a true Clancy title, as players would expect a more tactical and realistic look to their characters. I know that for many viewers of the XDefiant trailer, myself included, the most reminiscent link between this title and Call of Duty has to be the gunplay and character movements. For anyone that has played COD, you know what I'm saying. The perspective, the snappy ADS movements, the no recoil weapons, and the super fast time to kill, even the movements when not engaged in gunplay and just moving around, all look as if they were borrowed assets from a previous Call of Duty title. In fact, if you had just put me into a room with no backstory to this game and just let me view this trailer in that vacuum, I would have probably initially responded that I thought it was a new COD title. In fact, there is nothing that I have found in this entire reveal that connects XDefiant with the Clancy universe, save the factions. And perhaps that is how Ubisoft is loosely attempting to connect the two genres. Factions serve as your classes in XDefiant, of which you can further tweak your loadouts, and this game uses samplings from Splinter Cell, The Division, and Ghost Recon for your character selections. Again, nothing that these characters do, none of their skills, their ultimates, really nothing links them to the Clancy titles of the past. I have no idea if this is true, but it feels as if the development team on XDefiant has added the Tom Clancy name to this game so that they can use these assets, like character models, environments, and other items from those titles to gain a head start on the game's development. As always, I will try to give this game a fair shake once it does go into open testing and eventually goes live, and my reactions and feelings towards XDefiant could change in the future, and if they do, I will post a video expressing that change. But to end this one, I, like many Clancy fans out there, are probably most shocked, dare I say offended, by the use of the Tom Clancy title that has been so recklessly attached to this game. This is the most egregious and blatant attempt at grave robbing the Clancy legacy that Ubisoft has attempted to date. Now, if this XDefiant, and by the way, I'm not a fan of this title as it just doesn't sit well with me, but back to the original thought, if XDefiant was introduced as just that, XDefiant, and without the Tom Clancy moniker, I wouldn't feel this level of skepticism towards this new offering from Ubisoft. And just looking at the likes to dislikes ratio for the Ubisoft XDefiant trailer, it perfectly mirrors my thoughts. As of publication time for this video, the Ubi trailer is currently sitting at nearly a 2-to-1 ratio of dislikes to likes. And this is not the only example. The IGN version of this trailer is nearly 1-to-1. And here's another one from GameSpot, where the dislikes ratio clearly outweighs the likes. What does this all mean? People are not liking what they are seeing. They are clearly not wanting this game. And I cannot look into the future, and I'm not able to predict if XDefiant will succeed or just be dead on arrival. But with its heavy resemblance to Call of Duty, how dated this game already looks, and how Ubisoft is seemingly ready to cash in on the Clancy name by just slapping it onto whatever new game they are creating, it is clear that XDefiant will have a steep climb to win over gamers from all backgrounds. As always, feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section below. Don't forget to smash that sub button and ring the bell to receive all future upload notifications from my channel. Please take a moment to rate and/or share this video. Don't forget to find and follow me on Twitch, join my community Discord server, and follow me on Twitter, posting on most things gaming related. Links to all of these platforms in the video description below. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.